Hello, everybody. I'm Ryan Mallory.
And I'm Addison Mallory.
Wanted to talk to you today about something you can support our county commissioners on. Scheduled for the 23rd at the regular county commissioner meeting at 9:30 a.m., which you can attend via teleconferencing. The county commissioners are doing the second reading of a Second Amendment protection ordinance. What that means is the county commissioners are helping us adopt a law that will keep Jackson County from participating in future changes to Second Amendment related issues by the state and federal governments. The Second Amendment clearly states that the people shall be able to bear arms and uninfringed, and the Oregon State Constitution also says that, Article 1, Section 27. So when you hear a low number like that, number 2, most important in the Constitution, and number 1, Section 27, most important in the Oregon Constitution, something folks can support no matter what their age, no matter what no matter what you believe in. Oregon is a gun place, and definitely when you get out to rural areas like Southern Oregon, people have guns for protection, for hunting, for sports and those kind of things. Yeah,
there are ample reasons to own guns for government tyranny.
That's the number one reason.
That is the number one reason. Self-defense, hunting, sport, all valid reasons.
Yeah, and Thief Hunter Labs, Scanner Group, we're police supporters, so this isn't an insult. And Medford proper has under 3-minute response time to calls, but that's still 3 minutes. So if somebody pulls a knife or a gun on you, whether you choose to or not, that's okay, but you should be allowed to make that decision yourself as to whether you're going to protect yourself with equal force. And as crime grows, drug use, transient issues, and those kind of things grow, with the Greenway having the most crime in the area, that might be something that you want to do. And if it isn't something you want to do, you may be willing to help people not have their rights infringed on that do want to carry a weapon or own guns.
I know it's something I want to do, and I recommend it to everybody.
Yeah,
they do.
We just went out for our yearly family tradition, bunch of friends and things like that, camping trip to Eastern Oregon. And one of the things is the guys getting together with sporting weapons, those scary ARs, AK-47s and things like that, which is really just a deer rifle with a different dressing. Yeah,
it's a vermin round.
Yeah, 223 is a vermin round. Yeah, and 223, 5.56. Well, those are the 5.56 is the military version of that round, and an AR is like an M16, but it's not full auto. A lot of the stereotyping of guns that goes around is something that I feel like the public needs a little education on. So an AR-15, what is sometimes called an assault rifle. An assault is an action. It's not an item, and a rifle cannot assault anybody by itself. We definitely think there are certain people that shouldn't have guns in their hand with big mental illness issues or violent issues. That might not be a good plan.
Yeah. AR-15 does not stand for assault rifle. It stands for Armalite rifle, the original company that made the rifles.
Right.
And so there's just a lot of miscommunication and ignorance almost when it comes to weapons and studying them and learning about them and knowing what you're talking about. And you see this a lot in higher up governments. And so having a law that provides a sanctuary area where our rights are not going to be infringed on here is great, because they might try and not know what they're talking about.
One thing that I notice at the state level and the federal level, it doesn't seem like the federal government and state government, if they're going to build a road, the first thing they do is consult expert consultants. If they're going to create a new service that they're going to give the public, they consult experts. Maybe that's medical experts for the Oregon medical plan or those kind of things. I don't ever see them consulting gun experts.
They don't.
To make gun rules, so then they kind of sound silly on paper. They don't make a lot of sense. The difference between an AR and a full military M16, which you can't own without a very special exhibition permit with a year's worth of stuff with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, or excuse me, that would be a federal situation. But the difference is one trigger pull equals one shot in an AR-15 or an AK-47. If that was an M16, there would be a different selection that's full auto, and holding down the trigger would make it shoot. Even things that like bump stocks or adjustments to guns, they let you fire a little faster maybe if you're good at that, and it's kind of a skill, but it's not very accurate, guys. It's not like a military M16. All it does is make the bullets come out faster. It doesn't really make it any very aimable unless you're really practiced up in it, and nobody practices that much because we're talking, what, a buck a round?
Yeah, right now.
Yeah. So some of those things that could be coming down the pipe from Portland or the federal government is higher ammo taxes, trying to squeeze people that are gun owners or gun enthusiasts or hunters on a budget out of owning them or being able to shoot them.
Yes, so now only the rich get to defend themselves from government tyranny.
We have a law, SB 581, or that passed, 571, that passed at Oregon State Legislature. That's the title says it's about locking up guns, but when you look a little deeper into that, it isn't really about locking up guns. It includes things like if somebody steals a gun from me and use that in a crime, I may also be liable for the crime. But if I keep my guns locked up and somebody steals it, how can I be liable for that? That doesn't make sense. Don't think any of this would hold up in the Supreme Court. But what the county commissioners are trying to do now is get on the record with other counties so that we can band together and make sure that that makes it to the Supreme Court, or make sure that at least the state of Oregon knows to back off of Jackson County. We are a gun-owning county. That isn't going to change no matter what's put on paper. But what we don't want to do is we don't want to make law-abiding citizens felons on paper because of bad decisions with a lack of expert involvement in making those decisions about laws.
I mean, depending on how strict the laws are, in reality, we don't want to cause a large state issue.
Yeah.
Which it would.
Yeah. Well, we would be joining other counties like Douglas County and Grant County and most of the eastern counties, honestly, most of the geography of the state at this point. And we want Jackson County to be a Second Amendment sanctuary. Keep your hands off of our guns. We're not causing crimes. Go after the criminals. And I can tell you that I talk to a lot of law enforcement, and I haven't found any law enforcement that wants to take guns away. As a matter of fact, most of them own them in their personal life as well, ARs and those kind of things. So it's unenforceable stuff. So getting on the books with something from the county commissioners, I appreciate them. Rick Dyer, Colleen Roberts, and Dave Dotter, and some of the hard issues that they address relative to COVID and state mandates and stuff like that, and trying to work towards the good of the people in Jackson County. This is one of those things. You'll likely see it become law, but on the 23rd, after that, there's a public input period. Whether you talk at that meeting or send an email, it would be good to support the county commissioners in this Second Amendment protection ordinance.